Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. We are broadcasting here from the Renfrew Town Hall just off of Raglan Street. Again, you have a few more minutes to come on down. The Rotary Club is supplying us with an incredible bacon and egg on a bun sandwich. It's not just available at the fair now. You can get it today only while we're broadcasting. Now I have a very, very special guest. He's not only dressed up as a lumber baron, which used to be a very popular festival here in Renfrew, he's also my dad. This is Tim Freemark. Thanks a lot for coming out today, Dad.
You're welcome, Sarah. Glad to be here.
Well, it's sure nice to have you. We also have Bob Flynn. He was the president of the Renfrew Lumber Baron Festival for about 5 years when it was still in existence.
Yes.
So now before we talk about what the festival is, Bob, what exactly is a lumber baron for people that don't know?
A lumber baron was a gentleman from back in the 1800s, early 1900s. They owned the sawmills, they owned a lot of industry, and they employed a lot of people. But they came over and they made their living off the lumber.
Exactly. They kind of ran the town, didn't they? They had a whole lot of money, and they ran the businesses. Yep. So my dad today is reenacting his great-great-grandfather, Andrew McCormick, who is my great-great-great-grandfather, right?
Correct.
And Andrew McCormick, my grandmother told me, came over from Troom, Scotland, and began as a lumber king, and he became a lumber baron. And that's who Dad is dressed up as. Now, every single summer we used to have the Lumber Baron Festival. Yep. Bob, what was that all about? It was a huge festival. It was held downtown here. We closed the main street from one end to the other. We have a huge amount of tents. We had a lumberjack show. We had huge parades. Yeah. We had a lot of games to play for the kids, for the adults, Duncan pools. It was great. It was fantastic. It was on for 3 days. Yeah. And the town was just jumping. Mm-hmm. And part of that was the reenactment of the Lumber Baron. Yes. So not only was one man selected to play the Lumber Baron, but his whole family, which we had to do when I was quite young, would dress up also and play the family for that week. Dad, what was that like when you were a Lumber Baron? What year was it? I can't remember.
I'd be guessing, but I would think it would be 1993.
Yeah, and the only difference is my dad was dressed the same way he was, but he had this giant beard. How long did you grow that beard for?
I started the beard during deer season the year before.
So for an entire year you put up with the itchy beard?
Pretty much, yeah, a number of months, yep.
Yeah.
After a beard has grown a certain length of time, it isn't itchy anymore.
Really?
That's right, yeah.
And what was it like to be the Lumber Baron?
I really enjoyed it. It was good to represent my relatives, and good to participate with the town. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yep. And it sure was fun. We got to dress up in a whole lot of costumes, which at that point were provided by Gladys Sidoff. Yep. And Bob, I can remember, was there a log cutting competition?
Yeah. There was a log cutting contest. There were lumberjacks were climbing poles. It was wonderful.
Where did we find contestants for a log cutting competition?
Well, this was a group of people that we brought in. These were professionals. Yeah. They tour the States and they tour Canada, and they came in and they knew what they were doing.
Right.
And plus we had the local people from Dacre coming in, and they're doing the sweet saw cutting, so that was like a contest.
Yeah, who, like my dad, are good at cutting logs because they cut their own firewood.
Yeah.
With a chainsaw.
So, right, yeah, not quite the same. So before we go, Bob, quickly, for 12 years the Lumber Baron Festival hasn't been in existence. Why did it end?
Unfortunately, it's called economics. It costs a lot of money to pull it off. There was no way we could charge income because it was on the main street, and you couldn't fence it off. And so otherwise people cut through the stores to get in. So without a toll fee to get in, it's like any festival. You need money. You need gate revenue.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, and that festival was costing us like $50,000. And so we had a lot of fundraisers to try to raise the money, but eventually that dies out. So.
Well, it sure was a good run while it lasted. Thank you so much for coming and dressing up today, Dad.
You're very welcome, Sarah.
And Bob, for speaking on behalf. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, Dub Juby, the Valley Carver, has finished his masterpiece. We'll show you what that block of wood has been transformed into. That's in just a few short minutes.